how citations should look inside the text of your essay. Then I'll use those same citations to make a works cited or bibliography page and put all the elements in the right order. So, I've written a pretend essay on an opera that doesn't exist with a bunch of sources that are, some of them are real and some of them are made up. You should not just make up your sources, but I did that to illustrate this for you. So here's my essay. It's talking about Rossini's opera, Cats and Monsters. I wish somebody would write that up. The first paragraph of this essay doesn't have any citations in it because there's nothing there that comes from another source. I'm simply telling the reader that I'm going to write about this opera, and I'm going to discuss the perspective of the cat and the monster and their character traits. So that just tells the reader what I'm going to write about. Okay. The next paragraph. I see some quotation marks here. Should I cite right there? Well, in this case, the thing that says non più miau, no, that's just the title of a song in the opera. Not every time you see quotation marks is it an actual quote. Sometimes it's the title of a song, the title of a poem, or the title of a web page. However, at the end of this paragraph, there is a proper direct quotation. It quotes George Orwell in a photographic journal. It was soon noticed that when there was work to be done, the cat could never be found. So if I flip over to my handy note cards that I used for this assignment, I see that, aha, indeed, I used this source, this website by George Orwell, and it looks like it was done in 1984, and that's the name of the website. Now, when I have the author name, I'll use that in my in-text citation. So let's format this in the totally correct way. I've ended the quote. I open my parentheses. Orwell is the author's name, and he wrote that, as far as I can tell, in 1984. End parentheses, end period. Okay. The next paragraph. There are no quotation marks in that next paragraph. I've done some paraphrasing. I'm trying to explain the character of the monster by quoting from the original text of this opera, from a book, the monster at the end of this book. Now, just because I mention the name of the book doesn't mean I get to be excused from citation. I even say, hey, I'm talking about what happened in that original book on page 11. I'm not excused from citation here. I have to add the correct citation. So, we go before the period, and I'm going to hit space, parentheses. Now, let's go over to my note cards. And the book I used was The Monster at the End of this book. Okay. The author was John Stone. I've got all the publishing information. I don't need that right now in the text. I'll need it in a few minutes for my works cited page. And I said page 11. Well, I already said that in the paragraph. Do I have to put it in the citation? You bet. So it was John Stone. I just need his last name. And page 11. Close the parentheses, and there's the period. Okay. Now, here's the final paragraph. And I see another thing in quotes here that is actually the title of a song, Tre gatti facendo male, 3 cats doing evil things. Again, I just can't wait to see how this opera would sound if somebody would just compose it. So that doesn't need a citation. And it says different melodies portray different cats. The cats have been described as a, direct quote, cacophony of cats, choir cats, school cats, canonical cats, and visiting cats. That direct quote needs a citation, and it needs to happen as close to the end of that quote as possible. So let's remove that period. We're going to go on the other side of the quote, open my parentheses. Now I need my source. Let's see, Canterbury Cathedral Cats. Which source did I use? By the way, I would never just stick it in after I'm done writing the essay. I would have put it in while I'm writing the essay. Website, Cathedral Cats of England. No author. It looks like the website was updated in 2015, and there's the URL. Okay, so Cathedral Cats of England. I'm going to title that And I'm putting this in quotes because it's a web site, a single page. And I'm not going to put the URL now because nope, not going to put it inside my essay. I am going to put the last date that I can find that the website was updated or created, 2015. Close, period. Okay, looks like my formatting went crazy, so I fixed that. Oh dear. I'm just going to do that really quick so that you don't think I'm formatting the essay in some bizarre way. Which, there. Okay, you might think, hey, I think I'm done. Hang on, I've got one more sneaky source for you. Remember the third need to cite is when we're verifying information. You might know it, but maybe not all your readers know it. That's what happens in this paragraph. So, it says here in the middle that some of the cats have seemed to have become measles. Well, what is a measle? I mean, you'd only know this if you were a Harry Potter fan. It's not widely common knowledge. So I've included the definition of a measle in this essay to explain it to the reader, to help them understand why I would call these cats measles. So what I've given next is a definition. It's really a paraphrase, a rewording of a definition that I found in an encyclopedia. And it says, a measle native to the United Kingdom is a fantastical creature. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. I need to cite that source. Even if it were something like Mozart grew up in Salzburg, Austria, or something that seems pretty obvious to you, but maybe not to all your readers. That's when you're going to cite it. So I look back at my sources, and I see that I haven't yet used my source Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them by Newt Scamander, and I'm looking at page 24. So that's what I'm going to use. And I go to the end of that sentence. There we go. Open my parentheses, Scamander, page 24. Close parentheses, and I'm done. I've just made in-text citations using all four of these sources.